welcome to Runaway with Liz. I'm Liz, and in today's video we are going to talk about my first week with SIOUX Falls training. Kicking off this training cycle was different than any other training cycle that I have done, because for the first week of this training cycle, for the very first part of it, we were actually on vacation. And so normally when I'm kicking off a training cycle, and I think this is normal for everyone, it's very like, yes, ready to go. You're very motivated. You're checking all those boxes of all of the activities, your dynamic workout, your strength, your stretching, all of it. You're like, yes, 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 so excited. This week was not like that for me, because being on vacation, it's so much fun. It's also very tiring, and so the motivation and the time was not necessarily there for everything, and that was by choice. I was on vacation. I could have prioritized more. We had a blast at Universal, but it was a lot of time on my feet, and so for the first run on Wednesday, the motivation was not there. I just kind of had the attitude of like, I am just gonna get this done. I ended up just hopping on the treadmill in the Jack LaLanne gym at the Cabana Bay Beach Resort and just kind of knocked that run out. Same with the run the next day, which was a tempo run. I just kind of got it over with so I could go into the parks. And I don't regret running on vacation either, because actually the days that I went on my runs, I was so much less tired in the park and my legs actually felt a lot better. Like maybe I was actually warmed up and less stiff. I also had a little bit of blister issues on this trip because I was wearing my Dr. Scholl's slip-on sneakers, which on its face sounds like it would be super comfortable, and it normally is very comfortable. Like, these are not shoes that I expected to get blisters with. I walk Jeffrey in them, so like I've walked for miles in these slip-on sneakers before, but I think maybe with a little bit of foot swelling throughout the day from being in theme parks, they started to rub on the outsides of the front of my foot, and I did get a couple of blisters, so I ended up switching to my running shoes for the days in the parks as well. And after that, I didn't have any issues at all. Tony's shoe packing was much more intelligent than me on this trip.
I think it was pretty good, I gotta say. I don't know if I'm the best packer, but this is the first time I've shown feet on the channel.
Like and subscribe. Oh yeah. It's a shame that my fit was compromised, but it's fine. So I would like to actually, for the duration of this training cycle series, go through what I had planned for the week, or for the chunk of time that I'm addressing in this video, and then go through what really happened. And I am hoping that that is going to help keep me accountable as well. And it will just be interesting to see what I planned and whether or not that was realistic. And naturally, some things are going to change. Runs are going to get rearranged as life events happen. But let's just go through it and see how I did. Spoiler alert, I did not do very well this week. So this week is an 8-day cycle. Moving forward, I'm going to try to be releasing these videos about every 2 weeks, and so it's going to be covering a larger chunk of time. So this week is a little bit weird because just the way our travel schedule is laid out, it ended up being an 8-day cycle. So day one of this week, I had a 4 to 5 mile run scheduled at an easy conversation pace, and I was able to do that in the gym on the treadmill. The next day, I had a 6.25 mile tempo run planned. I was thinking 1 mile warm up and then 3 cycles of 1 mile tempo with a 1/4 mile recovery. So actually, I think that works out to 6.5 miles, but whatever. The point is, I didn't do all of that. I ended up doing 2 cycles. So I did 1 mile warm up, 1 mile tempo, a 1/4 mile recovery, 1 more mile tempo, and then a mile of cool down. I just didn't really have time, and I didn't really want to spend an hour and a half on the treadmill that morning. So I wanted to get into the parks. I wanted to go into Harry Potter World, so I cut it short. Day 3 was a travel day. Day 4, I had 6 miles at an easy pace on the plan. I ran that. It was kind of a slog because my legs were still kind of recovering, but I got that done. Day 5, I had 5 miles at an easy pace. I didn't do it. I completely skipped that run. No excuses. I just skipped it. And then the final 3 days of this cycle got completely rearranged. It is Monday morning and we are, how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days into the training plan for the SIOUX Falls Marathon. I had on the schedule tomorrow, Tuesday, running my first long run of 12 miles, but I'm going to have to rearrange it because my Tuesday just totally filled up. I Did actually end up taking a spontaneous rest day yesterday because I was editing the Cabana Bay video all day, which should be up by now. And the time just got away from me, and before I knew it, it was like 6:30, and I was like, well, that 5-mile run is not going to happen. So I am actually rested for my long 12-mile run if I were to run it today, which I am planning on doing. It's not ideal because my nutrition yesterday was not set up for running a long run today, but I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our long 12-mile run today, and I'll see how it goes. I'm gonna eat some breakfast, charge my Garmin, and we'll just try to get it done. 7-mile run is done. I actually ended up splitting it into a 3-mile run and a 4-mile run because, in all honesty, I just had to pee really bad the first time I went out, and so I decided I was just going to do 3 miles in the morning, and then I finished the 4 miles at noon. So that feels good. And then the final day today, I did yoga for 60 minutes, which was initially planned for day 6 of this cycle. I didn't do any PT except for today. I did some PT because I knew I was going to be talking about it, and that's not good. Moving forward, I have got to be doing my PT exercises regularly. If you don't know, I had an overuse hamstring injury in 2020. I was training for my first 50K, and I ended up running a self-supported 50K just in my neighborhood. I had this overuse injury during training, and then I had taken a month off, so I didn't do any running during taper at all. I was just trying to recover as much as I could, and I was not totally recovered, but I just ran the 31 miles, and that was probably not smart to run 30 miles knowing that you had an injury, but I did it, and I'm happy that I did it. But for the next 6 months, I was not able to run, and then I went to a PT, and in 2 weeks, I was running again with her strength exercises that she prescribed me. And so I've just been doing those strength exercises for the last 3 years regularly, and it's really kept my injury at bay. But it is so important that I continue doing those strength exercises for my personal history of injury. So I am hoping that logging what I plan to do and then what I actually do and presenting that to you, my friends, hopefully that will help keep me accountable. So that was my first week of training. It was fine. It wasn't my best week, but I'll probably have more motivation moving forward. So far, I'm not feeling injured, and I do feel prepared moving forward with this training cycle. And also, just to reiterate, if you didn't watch the week 0, this is not a traditional marathon training plan. I'm training for a marathon, but I'm thinking about an ultra in the future, and so I am building up this base with some back-to-back long runs, which means that even though I'm racing the marathon that I'm going to be running, the Sioux Falls Marathon, I'm not going to be in peak marathon condition, and that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. Are you starting any training cycles for any upcoming races? I would love to hear about it. If you enjoyed watching this video, maybe think about liking and subscribing to the channel. These videos with training updates are hopefully going to be coming out every other week on Mondays. Take care, friends. Bye.